Welcome to another render update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server. Here we have an altcoin update channel where we try posting daily. Of course, when there's nothing to talk about, we don't talk about anything. We only talk about important things here. And yeah, if you want access to these things, make sure to check out the membership. Now let's talk about render. I want to remind you what we are currently doing, so let's go on the monthly chart for this. Render is a bit different when you compare it to the other altcoins, and I will explain why. So basically what we have on the render chart is this. In the previous cycle in 2020, we formed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, and that formed a first wave move to the upside. Then the bear market was an ABC structure, which was the second wave move down, and right now we are heading in a main third wave move to the upside. And just keep in mind, I don't think the third wave will finish in this cycle. This will most likely finish in 2029 or so. I believe that's when the next bull cycle will actually top. So yeah, obviously a long way to go, but render is looking a lot better than the other altcoins because on the render chart we already have these two waves right here, and we have already started the third wave of that third wave. Now of course the wave count could be wrong. Maybe this whole move is just a 1-2 setup. We'll have to wait and see how the price reacts in the bear market, but even then it would still be bullish, because if this is only a 1-2 setup, then the next bull cycle should be a third wave of a third wave. So no matter what happens, I'm expecting render to go up right now. Now, how high could it go in this cycle? Well, I will talk about that very soon. First, let's talk about what happened in this cycle so far. So after we got the bear market low right here, we formed a 1-2 setup, like I said. And right now we are working on the third wave of that 1-2 setup. The minimum target for the third wave, I mean, I don't have that on the chart right now because I don't know if it's possible to get there. If you want a minimum target for that, let me actually put it on the chart, because why not? So the minimum target would be $31. However, I think that's not too much. I think we need to go way higher than that, and that's why I have this on the chart. But it's really hard to say how high render will go just because it already went up quite a lot. So in my opinion, from where we are at right now, it could go up another 10x or so, probably even more. It depends on how bullish it is. Keep in mind, if you bought down here when the price was in the support zone, I mean, I don't think anybody bought down here, but if you bought down here at like $3.50, you would already be up almost 3x, so you cannot really complain about that. And yeah, the long-term chart, it's kind of hard to say what's happening right now, but what we know is that render will just keep going up. And keep in mind, we have not had an altcoin season yet, so when we do get that, render will most likely go up like 10x. Now of course that's not financial advice, but as you know, altcoins do tend to go up quite a lot in the altcoin season, so it's only a matter of time until we start going up again. And matter of fact, you can pretty much forget about these extensions. We don't really need them, because right now what we need to focus on is the third wave right here, which is the third wave of this 1-2 setup, and it's also the third wave of this third wave right here, and that's the third wave of this 1-2 setup. So right now we are pretty much in a 1-2 1-2 1-2 setup, and I know that sounds complicated, but trust me, it's not really that complicated. And let's go on the weekly. To complete the green third wave move, which like I said is the third wave of this 1-2 setup, we need to get to about $49.67. Now that's the 2.618 extension. Why did I choose the 2.618 extension? Well, because everything so far has been very impulsive, so if we want this to count as a third wave, we kind of need to get there, because this 1-2 setup was, like I said, very impulsive, and the minimum target for the third wave of this 1-2 setup is $32. So yeah, $32 for the third wave, then we will get a fourth wave and then a fifth wave, and that will only complete the third wave of the green 1-2 setup right here. Then of course we will need a fourth wave move down and then a fifth wave move up, and this will most likely complete the cycle and the main third wave move to the upside. And the next bear market will most likely be an ABC structure in the fourth wave move down, and this could be quite brutal because the first wave move high is right here at about $2.90. So if we get to like $100 in the third wave right here, it is possible that the fourth wave gets all the way down to like $5 or so, which, you know, it's gonna be a brutal bear market, but that should not really surprise you, considering the fact that in the previous cycle render went from about $9 to about 26 cents. So yeah, that's what happens in a bear market, and that's why you should sell in a bull market. And let's go on the daily, I guess, because we have another wave count on the chart. After we got the second wave move down right here, which is the second wave of this 1-2 setup, the price reacted to the support zone that I gave you, and we formed another 1-2 setup. And right now, if we want to complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup, the yellow 1-2 setup, we have to get to about $12.64. Now, of this third wave, we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4 setup. Now, we don't really have the fourth wave so far, but I'm sure we will get one very soon, and then after that we should get a fifth, and that will complete the third wave. Then we need a fourth, and then the fifth wave should get to $32, and that will complete the third wave right here. I know there are many waves that we need to talk about, but you know, it is what it is. So far this has been accurate. I mean, the price has reacted to my support zone, and keep in mind, I did tell you that this cross that we got on the bull market support band was very bullish. I did tell you that it's gonna take some weeks for the price to react after this cross, and what do you know, it reacted to the cross, we got above the bull market support band, and we are still above the bull market support band. So things are looking extremely good for Render. Now, when is it going to start going up again? Well, for this you need to go on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, if you can remember, or maybe you did not watch my previous Render videos, whenever Bitcoin dominance goes down, altcoins go up. If you can remember from the previous cycle, when Bitcoin dominance was going down right here, most altcoins were going up like 10x, maybe 20 or 30x. And why is that? Well, because the altcoins start outperforming Bitcoin. But this only happens after Bitcoin gets to new all-time highs. And right now, Bitcoin is at new all-time highs. Bitcoin is at like $100,000 right now. And while I still believe that Bitcoin will get to about 155k by the end of the cycle, which will most likely be in October of 2025, that does not mean that Bitcoin dominance has to go up until then. Of course not. Bitcoin will continue going up, and Bitcoin dominance will start going down, and that's when the altcoin season will start. Yes, we have gone down a bit, but this is not really enough to trigger an altcoin season. If you look at the monthly chart, these are the wicks you should expect in an altcoin season. Not this. I mean, this is nothing when you compare it to what happened over here. So you should watch this chart. I mean, I have been covering this chart for a long time now, and I did say that it is possible that we top at like 60% dominance and then we get the altcoin season, and so far I have been right. The price reacted to the 0.618 extension of the previous all-time high, just like we did in the previous cycle, so it's only a matter of time until we get a real altcoin season. Keep in mind, in the last cycle we did not get one until April, so this is when the real altcoin season started. Of course, altcoins were already going up here, but most of the altcoins went up like crazy in this zone, and as you can see, the real altcoin season took about 2 months. So yeah, if you look at what's happening right now, this is pretty much nothing. Going back to the render chart, if you look at the monthly RSI, we are below the yellow line, and that's actually a good sign because the RSI is barely at like 62 and the price is near all-time highs, and that's honestly extremely good because we could theoretically get to like $50 to $100 and the RSI would barely be at like 85 or so, maybe 90. And keep in mind, whenever the RSI gets to these levels, we have to be careful. Of course, if the RSI gets to the overbought territory, that does not mean that we will get a bear market all of a sudden. Of course not. It can stay at the overbought territory for a very long time. But keep in mind, you need to take profits at some point. If you bought down here at like $1, I mean, you are already up like almost 10x. You should start taking some profit, even if render goes to like $100. What if it doesn't? What if this is the top right here? And what if it starts going down right now? Don't get greedy. That's what I want to say. So I'm still watching for higher prices and we'll see what happens with this. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. And if you want access to our Discord server, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.